Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ranked and Reviewed Goes Live. I am your host, as always, Tomye West, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Alannis Maximus.
Yeah,
How are we today, Alannis?
yeah, I am getting by. Sunday vibes, coffee.
Yep.
Life is not bad.
Now, just give me 1 second, because I don't know if you know this. This is a little like inside to what I have to do to get ready for a show. My computer chair is like small. It's built for someone like Warwick Davis. If you don't know who that is, it's the little guy that plays the little person that plays the little person in Harry Potter. He was in An Idiot Abroad season 3. Like he's a little guy. You know what I mean? Like, so I am going to get some pillows to sit on like I usually have to. Because the chair is fucking short as. So, with that, before we get into our topic for our stream today, obviously, Alannis, how are you feeling now after a few days removed from Scream 6?
I'm still putting it where I had previously in ranking. I actually was talking to someone who didn't like it, and
wow.
I'm surprised. But
who was that?
One of my friends, Wade. We have very hit and miss taste. So I mean, I'm not entirely surprised.
What were his concerns?
I haven't gone that far into it, but he said it was trash. So
it definitely wasn't trash.
No, I think he's a bad person, and he should feel bad.
I think so too.
Wade, if you're watching, and you're probably not, feel bad.
He's probably not.
No.
He's probably not watching. No one watches us, man. We just got to come.
I watch us.
Yeah, so do I, and that's a sad thing. We're our biggest fans, you know. So with that, let's get on with our topic. First, actually, quickly, I want to say something. We forgot to mention so much shit in our Scream 6 review. Like that they played Dewey's theme song again, and me and Alannis just burst into laughter because we thought finally this may be the one Scream that we're going to get. So we don't have any fucking Dewey's that go. And what was the other thing that we didn't talk about? Oh, okay. So this is the first time that Gail Weathers has received a phone call from GHOSTFACE in Scream 6.
Yes.
We found that out. I never took notice of that, but we found that out. And Alannis made a good point that the GHOSTFACE guy this time calls her and says, "This is the first time we're calling and we're having a phone call with each other." How would he know this? Second of all, yes, maybe he read all her books or something, but like, not one phone call. This guy, I don't know, man. That's another far-fetched thing about this movie. There's a few far-fetched things about this movie, but all in all, it was a great time. You know what I mean? So I don't know what is wrong with your friend that did not like Scream 6.
He should feel bad. Wade, feel bad.
Yeah, I feel bad because Scream 6, look, it is getting rave reviews everywhere. Like, people are saying it's the best Scream since the first. People are saying it's the best sequel, like, to a horror movie. It got a 9 out of 10 from IGN. So, like, it's doing well. So I guess there will be the minority that doesn't like it, but I need you to ask your friend what his fucking problem was.
Yeah.
You should message him right now and tell him to get on our live chat and tell us what the fuck is wrong with him.
Maybe someone pissed in his cereal that morning. I mean, that would upset me.
Has he liked one of our posts before? Because I feel like I've heard the name. If he has, I'm going to message him right now. We're doing this live. Loud Media. 1 second. I'm messaging this guy. Like, 1 second. We're gonna find Wade.
This is how you get viewers, harassing them.
I just want to find out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to know why he doesn't like it. That's all.
Yeah.
All right, I found him. Wade. Now I'm going to message him. Wade, how are you, mate? It's Tomye.
And
Alannis. Come jump on our live stream and in the chat tell us why you didn't like Scream 6. Because right now we are just riding you hard. Ha 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 ha. Pokey tongue face. All right, I sent it to him. Let's see if he writes back. And just in case he doesn't see it, you know what I'm going to do? I'll add him as well. Hey, you know what we should do is try and find every person that has a negative review on Scream 6 and message them and get them to come talk about it. That'd be awesome, bro, if we just heckled people. You know what I mean? All right, I've added him. I've sent him a message. Now, let's continue on with our live stream, and we'll wait for Wade. Hopefully, he shows up during the live stream. Now, Alannis, we're going to take this movie by movie and discuss the Ghostface killers and what we thought about them. And at the end, we're going to give each one a ranking and decide who is the best, who is the worst. And by the way, this is just personal opinions. You know what I mean? Like, this is not gospel. So everyone, chime in, tell us what your opinions are, what your ranking is. We'd love to have a conversation with you about that. So, Alannis, let's start with the 1996 Scream movie, the very first one, Scream from 1996, with our killers, which are Billy and Stu. Now, Alannis, what do you think of this duo as killers?
I think they are definitely a couple of the best. But I think also what might make them so good is there wasn't any for them to kind of be derivative from, which is, I think, something I'm going to have to keep in mind while ranking. But yeah, I think they had one of the better reveals. They kind of set the mold. They were the OG. They were good. I have no real criticisms about them. They've aged pretty well as well.
What did you think about their motive? Because it's funny, he kind of uses, like Billy uses the motive of like the movies and things like that, but he also has an actual motive, which is that his mom, his dad was sleeping with Sydney's mum. So what do you think about that? That he's kind of got a double motive.
I kind of like that. It gives it a bit more substance, I think. And then you have our fan theory as well, which is, I think, part of his motive is he just has a man crush, maybe sexual, maybe platonic, but still he has a man crush on Billy, which I think is another part of his sub motive as well.
Definitely. And I mean, I just love the sort of the connection that Stu and Billy have to each other. Billy and Stu, however you want to say it. I mean, I think that they feed off each other. You know what I mean? In this movie, I think both the characters, I think the people that played Billy and Stu as well, I think that I think that those people in real life get on really well. Which is Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich. And I mean, you see them still doing the anniversary shows with each other. So I think that they like really hit it off. And I think that their chemistry really helped sort of their performances with each other. Even when you didn't know it was Ghostface, like their interactions with each other and stuff were always very intriguing and interesting. I don't really have a problem with either of these, again, like you said, but the problem I have with it is that, again, they made the coolest person in the movie the killer, and I hate how they do that. Stu is the best, you know what I mean? And always will be. What's your hope for him returning, by the way?
I hope he does. Like, I'm hoping the third movie, because as we said in our review, there's not a whole lot of room to have something here because the news story kind of resolved itself in a big way with the second movie. So it would be cool to see that kind of reveal that and all the teasing and whatever that he is still alive and he's kind of the kind of mastermind maybe behind the last trilogy.
It baffles me that they like teased it towards the end of the new movie. Like they're still teasing the whole Stu Marker thing, and I feel like they're doing this. They have to be doing it for a reason because obviously the fans love Stu. Like there's no getting around that, and they're doing that to like throw back to an old character or whatever you want to do. But like this much, like, and the fans want it this bad, like, and Matthew Lillard has said that he would fucking love to return to the role. Like, why wouldn't you do it now? You know what I mean? So I'm hoping to see it, especially considering we were teased so heavily on fucking, on him being it. Like, if you believe that he's still, what did she say? Yeah, if you believe that he isn't alive. You know what I mean? It's like, again, this is where it comes into a bit of a problem for me, which is, wouldn't they know?
Yeah, it's one where you have to kind of remove, I think, a little bit of the reality of it if they do go down this road.
Because, okay, say if he is alive, that means that his body was like found at the crime scene, like probably with the TV still on it, I'm guessing. And then I'm guessing that he would have gone to court and he would have gone and faced charges and he probably would be in jail and blah, 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 blah. So, like, how did he get away? Like, if he did get away, like, I mean, they could, I guess, just explain it like that they went to, when the police got to the crime scene, he was no longer there or some shit like that. But, like, that's even more unbelievable. You know what I mean? Like, what, then there's been no sign of this guy since 1996? If this is we're going on real time? Because it seems like they're going on real time, yeah?
Yeah, feels like it.
Well, like, that happened in 1996, yeah? No, that's when it was obviously set, surely.
Mm-hmm.
So what? There's been no sign of Stu Marker for like what? 23, 20. So like 27 years. I don't know about that one. You know what I mean? So I still want him to come back, but yeah, I wonder how they explain that one away. So, I mean, I'm gonna just say that they're definitely up there in who are the best.
Yes.
Let's move on then, shall we, to our second movie, which is, sorry, Alannis, I'm bringing up the streaming window right now because right now I'm trying to do 12 things at once, which is talk to you about it, try to get the screens ready for everybody. I don't think people realize that I'm the producer of this show while it runs. Like, everything you see happening and everything that's going on and everything, like, I got to do it as well, so like, it's not easy. So let's bring up our second killers for this ranking, and that is going to go for Scream 2 with Mickey and Mrs. Loomis. Now, these, by the way, spoilers for all Scream movies. Spoilers for all Scream movies. You know what I'm saying? So let's bring it up. Let's talk about it. It's Mickey and Mrs. Loomis. Now, what are your thoughts on Mickey and Mrs. Loomis as the killers in Scream 2?
I don't know. Mickey, he's not outstanding to me, but I still think he's solid. But I also like Mrs. Loomis / Debbie Salt. I like the kind of double twist in it. The whole she's the killer and she's also Mrs. Loomis, which you find out towards the end as well, because obviously she's going under another name. I'm quite fond of that. I think I like that more than some of the other killers. And she just plays a kind of believable nutbag. Like she's pretty batshit crazy and on a vengeance journey. So I think, I don't know. I think I'll probably put these guys.
Well, you don't have to rank him yet.
Okay.
like we'll rank them at the end. I think we should just discuss like
Discussing.
how we think they match, like compared to the previous, or how we think they went in this movie. Like how these killers were portrayed in them. Like talk it as a movie basis by basis, and then maybe start diving into where they compare and how they lack compared to each other and things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It also has the same problem that you had with Stu, I think, is with Mickey, is the cool guy is the killer. And yeah, it's that kind of situation again. I can remember watching it though, and not in the first time I saw it, not in a million years would I have picked Debbie Salt to be the killer. I think that was a twist I just didn't see coming. She had nothing really seedy about her. Like she was just an annoying reporter. Like looking back on it, I think you kind of look at it in a different light. But the first time I saw it and I didn't know, I never would have picked her as the killer. I think she was one of the most well hidden ones as well. So even the detective in the newest one, there's some signs that you kind of pointed out and things like that.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. I don't like this choice of killers. One reason being that I don't like. I didn't really care for Amber as a character at all. You know what I mean? Like even like as just a normal, like before you knew she was the killer, I just didn't. There was nothing about her that was super drawing in for the movie. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense. So to me, it was just like, oh, she's the killer. Okay. Whereas like Mickey and stuff kind of make more of a impact than I'd say, it has, he makes more of an impact because he has like charisma, and he's like fun, and he's friendly with everyone, and he like seems like a genuinely good person, and like the guy you want to be friends with at school and things like that. So like there was more weight to him, you know what I mean? So with Amber, I felt like, oh, not Amber, sorry, with I just felt like Mrs. Salt, I thought it was a bit, Debbie Salt was a bit lackluster in her reveal, you know what I mean? I thought it was weird, like I just felt like it was the whole Jason Voorhees thing over again with his mum, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't really like the killers in this movie. I don't think this is a bad movie. I think Mickey is a good choice. I think you can expect him. And yeah, as we were saying, like with the weight of the new people in the movies and things like that, and in the movies coming, I just don't think that they made such an impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got what you mean.
Sorry, I got lost with what I was saying because I got a message completely like randomly, and I was trying to read the message because it was important. And I was reading it because it was from the mother of my child, and yeah, she was calling, so I was like getting all lost with what I was fucking saying. But basically, there was like points, there was signs and things like that with the new killers, and there was no signs with Mickey. So as I said, I was disappointed with the reveal of the new movie because they weren't that you didn't get attached to him. You know what I mean? So yeah. What did you think of like the choice of like the character, like who played the roles in this too? Because I think Mickey was really perfect, but do you think like Miss Debbie Salt was really a good choice, like the person they got to play Debbie Salt, or do you think that they could have gone a different route?
I liked it. It was weird. I can remember when I first started watching it because I think it was just after Roseanne had done its thing, and it wasn't that far.
I actually think it might have still been happening.
Yeah. So I can remember like expecting her to be funny and seeing her in a serious role where she's also a killer. And at the time I thought it was weird, but I liked it, and I still think I kind of do. Like she plays a convincing nutbag. I don't mind her.
Yeah, she does. And that's why I think it was a cool twist that she was there, but I also think that the biggest surprise was that it was Mickey,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my opinion. But yeah, I would say I don't like these killers very much. The choices they made with this bunch. I also feel like I think that from what I can remember that this movie got heavily leaked. And they had to like rework the script or change things around, and then they had to send out bogus scripts, and then like the real script got out again and things like that. And I just feel like maybe the Mrs. Salt thing was an add-on later on. Maybe like the killers could have been different. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, we were led very heavily to believe that it was going to be Sydney's boyfriend again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is played by Jerry O'Connell, the great Jerry O'Connell. So yeah, I think that the killers were okay in this, but I don't think that they matched what Scream 1 brought to the table, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't think they're not far behind. I don't think, but I don't think they surpass them by any stretch.
Definitely not. So let's, with that, move on, because I mean our main discussions are going to get to like we're going to dive deeper into this when we like actually run through all the killers and go through all the movies. Once we've gone through all of them, discuss them, we can put them in a ranking and then discuss because this time we're doing it differently. Yeah, we're going to do one ranking. We're not going to do two rankings. We're going to do one ranking, and me and Alannis are going to have to come to an agreement. I think that'll be fun. What about you, Alannis?
Sure, why not?
Were you expecting this?
Not really. What a twist!
See, that's what I do, man. I fucking take a movie that's got a twist and we put our own twist to it. So that'll be fun, because I think two rankings, two rankings, it's just like, yeah, because then we walk away and then we're both kind of like, yep, we got our rankings. And I think this time it'd be funnier if we have to have actual conversations and be like, no, I don't think that's where they belong. You know what I mean? So with that, let's get on to our third killer in this series. Man, I've been thrown off with this live stream ever since that came through. Like, I've just been fucking thrown off. So I'm trying to get back in the zone. Excuse me. Let's move on to, you're going to like this. Look what I named it. For Scream 3, let's have a look at our killer. Roman Dickface. So, is his name Roman Bridges?
I think so.
I couldn't be bothered looking.
No.
And I'm not watching Scream 3 again. Forget it.
I've seen it twice, and that was once too many times.
Terrible movie. Terrible. Yeah. Look, actually, I go back on it because I said the other day, it's not a terrible movie. It's not terrible. It's a bad Scream movie.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad movie, because trust me, there are fucking terrible movies like The Room or what's another classic bad fucking movie? I'm gonna say it right now, and I don't care what anyone says. White Chicks.
And I'll just drop a hint for this one.
Oh yes, Jurassic Park 3. We cannot forget Jurassic Park 3. Now that fucking movie, every copy of that movie, even pirated copies and shit, should be burnt in landfill.
Absolutely.
Like, fuck me, man. What a bad movie, dude. Like, dude, I was watching Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which came out in 2002, the other night. And I was gobsmacked at how good this movie's held up. I was like, wow. Like, the CG in this movie and, like, the effects and everything are, like, fucking top-notch still, yeah? And then you watch Jurassic Park 3, which was a year before, and it is horrible. Like, horrible. Like, I don't understand how Harry Potter, we're going to look into that later, what the budgets were on Jurassic Park 3 and then Harry Potter 2. Because
I also think is, well, like, Lord of the Rings, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, these were all around the same time as well, and they all...
Yeah, I'm going to push back with one thing. I'm going to push back with one thing. Spider-Man 1, terrible. Yes. Terrible. It looks terrible. I just watched it recently with my son. It looks terrible. Spider-Man 2 is when they picked up their game. You know what I mean? And I think that was because I'm sure they got a bigger budget because of how well Spider-Man 1 did. You know what I mean? So
also, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. Yeah.
Yeah, like exactly. And Jurassic Park is on level with those, in my opinion, of like popularity, importance, things like that, pop culture wise. And the movie looks shocking. Shocking. Anyway, let's continue. Now it's stuck in my head. That fucking I'll tell you what. Wait, do it once more. So I just wanted to see a big screen. All right. I'll cut camera when I can. I was just trying to get us something up onto Canva while we were talking. So let's bring up our third killer. Roman Dickface. I'm sure his name's last name is Brutus. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at him. Look at this guy. This is our killer for Scream fucking 3. Ah, what a disappointment. Look at my name is Roman. I'm a dickhead. I don't know, man. I'm just being stupid. Look,
he looks like the actor himself looks like a bunch of different people that are just bad in what they're in as well. He's just got the generic terrible acting.
What I think was a bad decision that they made with this movie was killing Cotton Weary.
Yes. That always felt weird that they killed him off. Like
very early on too.
Yeah. I think
I would love that. Like that's another guy that I would actually like to come back. You know what I mean? Like he would have made a cool like surprise killer at some point. Because all this time you're led to believe that he's innocent. And then imagine you found out that he was actually the mastermind behind all this because of the events that did transpire a year before 1996's Scream. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes.
We did watch an alternate opening to Scream 3. I don't know if everyone's seen it. I don't know if we can bring it up because did we get in trouble last time for that?
I think we had to contest it.
Okay, well, let's see if we can find it, yeah? See if we can find this alternate opening because someone put it together and it was really good. Restored original. Is this it? Yeah, this is it here. Okay, so you know what? We'll play it and we'll see what happens. Now, everyone, last time we played something live, we got kicked. I contested it because it was for something else and everything was all good, but let's hope that doesn't happen again. I'm going to give credit to the person who uploaded this video, just so that, you know, they get some credit and we can cover our ass. I'll put their YouTube channel into the description of this somehow. Actually, I'll do it like this. You know what? Let's do it like this. Paste, add, and now we're going to bring it up.
Yeah, that guy.
So this guy we give credit to. Now, we're going to watch the whole opening sequence. If you have interest in watching that, it's pretty cool. Trust me, it's worth watching. If you haven't seen Scream 3's original restored opening, it's worth watching. So it goes for 6 minutes. Let's give it a watch. It's very cool. It's very cool to see the differences. So let's check it out. So that was kind of like an opening intro. I remember we saw more than that. There was a better one with like the whole opening, like re-edited, like whether in the car and everything like that, but whatever. You get the idea. There was a whole different opening and shit. So this movie was rewritten like 3 or 4 times, especially because it had a whole original story where it was going to bring back Stu. And it was going to be, you know, this whole brutal movie and whatever. And then they had to change it due to the fact of the Columbine shootings. And it kind of been like that ruining like their chances of making a really violent movie because at that time, just no one wanted that. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think that the choices they made with this movie are terrible, including Roman.
The fax machine.
What do you think? The fax machine is the funniest bit in this whole movie, man. The fax machine is one of the funniest things in any Scream movie, and I put my why does the guy want to see what's coming through the fax machine? Second of all, the power is cut to the house. It's dark, so how is this fax machine still working?
Yep.
Like, it's plugged in still. And then third of all, this idiot. This Ghostface must be like looking at his crystal ball or whatever, because like it says the person who dies, and then he's like, the person who dies, and he's looking around and he's like, and then he lights a match and looks and reads closer. He's like, is whoever lights a match, and it blows up because Ghostface let the gas out in the house. Now, so the fax machine still worked, the power wasn't working. Ghostface knew that this guy was going to get like a lighter, some matches, not a torch. A lot to be desired about choices they made. Waiting on this fucking fax machine. Like, just get out of the house, you fucking idiot. But yeah, Roman, what do you think about his motive? What do you think about this convoluted piece of shit motive that Roman has?
I think that's exactly it, a convoluted piece of shit. There's not much I liked about it. I think the movie itself just reinforced that as well. He's definitely I know we're not ranking at the moment, but I can't see myself agreeing on anyone being below him. And
that's funny too, because like of the circumstances with the new movie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll get there. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
So let's continue with
it's not interesting. It's feels forced, feels lame, feels like a parody of itself.
It does. It honestly feels like it belongs in the Scary Movie trilogy, like as a trilogy. Yeah. Like, remember the part when they first find Roman dead, and they're like, check his pulse, and there's no pulse, and he's like, there's no pulse, he's dead. And it's like, is he dead? Like, because how did he lie in a thing dead, pretending to be dead with no pulse? And then suddenly he's the killer. And I don't know, man. It was like Scooby-Doo, that ending. Like, there was like, a haunted mansion, basically. There was fucking, oh, here we go. We got Wade talking to us. We got Wade talking to us. Here we go. Fuck you guys. Okay, so if anyone joining us that wasn't joining us before, we found out that one of Alannis' friends is not into Scream 6. He thought it was bad. And I wanted to find out why. Because Alannis did not find out why his friend didn't like Scream 6. So I messaged Alannis' friend. And I don't know who Alannis' friend is. I just decided to message him. It says, fuck you guys. No one messes with the family. Fuck Cop Dad was awkward and horrible. I'm still amazed with the African American woman getting stabbed, somehow not bleeding out, going to the hospital, checking herself out, going to the final scene 20 minutes later, and then hopping in an ambulance with her brother, who should also be dead, heading back to the same hospital she just checked herself out 10 minutes prior. Wait,
I'll admit that wasn't the shining moment of the movie, but
no, wait, we're gonna stand right by you and say, look, yeah, the ending of Scream 6 was probably the weakest part of the whole movie. Like, I felt like there was a lot they tied up very quickly. I think that the choices they made with the killers and the way that they sort of like were unveiled and stuff was a little cheesy and things like that. But as a movie as a whole, I think Scream 6 is fantastic. And I'm also going to have to say that, yeah, I think you looked a little too deep into it. Like, I didn't even think about the whole her coming back 20 minutes later, going to the same hospital, all that sort of thing. And I think that's because I was just so overly impressed with the rest of the movie. that I just was like ready to let little things like that slide, I guess. You know what I mean? Because I think if you look back on the majority of Scream movies, there are going to be very similar problems with plots and peak characters. Wouldn't you say so, Alannis? Like,
I agree.
from memory, I'd say that Scream 6 handles it a lot better than some of the previous installments have, like with Roman. I think that Roman has a way worse reveal, has a way worse. Like, when Roman was revealed for the first time, I was so not impressed. I was so like, oh, okay. And when I found out there was no second killer and it was just a single person, I was like, even more boring. And also, like, of course, they had to do something different. It can't always be two killers. But, like, when Roman was first revealed, you're like, okay, well, who's going to be the second killer? And then there was no reveal of a second killer. And I was like, that's it? Roman? Like, this idiot director? Like, none of his... This plot came from nowhere. Like, I'm the killer. Why? Oh, because my mom's your mom, and she didn't love me, and she loved you, and it just goes on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Like, can we bring up his like thing? Because, dude, I haven't watched Scream 6 in ages. I'm Scream 3 in ages. Like, since we watched it over a year ago, I refuse to watch it. Reveal. Let's watch his motive again. So I've got to hear this motive again. Yeah, like, are you down?
I am down.
Good. Because, man, this is going to be hilarious. I can't wait to hear this fucking convoluted mess of fucking motive again because I can't even remember it properly. So, like, this will be just great. This will be great. Let's do it. Nah, I can't do it anymore. That is just the most convoluted, like, it just kept going and going and going and going and going. And you're like, and none of this matters. And none of this matters. And you know what the other thing what I find funny? You know what would suck? Being the role of Sid's mother in the movie. Like, the actor. All she is in pictures, in like video stuff, and it's all like non-speaking roles, and she's made out to just be like the town bike. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder who the actress is. We should look her up and then see if she's done absolutely anything else or if she's just the slut from Scream. You know what I mean? All right. With that, let's move on to. I think we've covered Roman enough. Let's get to our next movie, Scream 4, with Jill and Charlie. What are your thoughts on Jill and Charlie as the killers in this movie?
I feel as a combination, it's an interesting one because Charlie is pretty unremarkable. Like, nothing really stands out to me about him. But Jill, I think, is a really strong killer, especially her ending, how she almost gets away. I can remember watching it and kind of, I got the same sort of thing with Amber in Scream 5 as I did with Charlie. It's just kind of like, they reveal and it's like, he was just one of the characters that I didn't think much of. I thought was probably going to die, and turns out they were the killer. But Jill was another good twist. I didn't really see that coming. It was pretty surprising when that reveal happened.
Yeah, and I liked her reveal too because didn't she just like shoot someone in the head?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Like, instantly, like she's like, nope.
Yes,
we should do that. We should double check how this reveal happened because I'm fairly sure I heard a rumor or something that Charlie did no kills. Like, I heard that. I'm not sure. We should look into this before we say anything, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But like, I'm pretty sure that Charlie, like, maybe did one or something like that.
So he's basically just a simp then and following along.
I think, but like, we'll look into it in a minute. But like, let's have a look at the reveal quickly again of Scream 4 just to catch everyone up. I think that's a good idea. We do that. We should have probably done it for the other two, but whatever. All right, let's do this. He did kill someone. He said a Robbie kill. But I heard that, like, I don't think he was, like, the main in this. I'm pretty sure it was, like, Jill was, like, the Ghostface the majority of the time. And Charlie was, like, the sort of bait and switch guy. You know what I mean? Like, the guy that was like, okay, I'll make sure that this person's in this place at the right time and blah, blah, blah. And we'll make sure that I'm not accounted for and things like that. And yeah, so I actually think that, as everyone knows by my rankings, I think Scream 4 is heavily underrated. I think it's a great, great movie. I think it's better than Scream 2. I think it's better than Scream 3. I think it's better than Scream 5. Like my order changed. I noticed that when we did our rankings, our orders changed drastically. I don't think yours did, but mine did drastically. Like, I'm pretty sure I put Scream. I want to bring up you know what? Let's do that quickly too. What was our rankings, man? Like, do you actually know? Because
I know with mine it was.
I felt like mine changed so many times. You know what I mean?
6, 1, 5, 2, 4, 3. I think for me.
I'm trying to find if there is did we make a scoreboard for it?
That's a good question. I don't think we did.
I don't think we did either. Look, I'm going to say that Scream 1996, I'm going to say it has to probably go at number 1. Did I put that at number 1 the other night? I think I did. Scream 1, Scream 6, Scream 4, Scream 2, Scream 3. That's my order. And I think that Scream 4, I think it's awesome what they did with the ending of this movie with the reveal, because the reveal was one thing, but the aftermath was much longer than we usually get with a Scream movie after a reveal happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we got them getting carted to the hospital. We got, the conversations with Jill and Dewey and everyone like that. And then finding out that Nev Campbell, like Sydney was still alive. And then Jill trying to get there to kill Sydney in the hospital. And like the moments before that where she tried to get away with it. And she was like throwing herself against the wall and through that table and shit. That was hilarious, by the way, when she throws herself through the table. It's hilarious. It's so good. So I really think this movie is underrated. I would rank these killers above. I mean, these would definitely go up to. We're starting to get to again to the top of the list. You know what I mean? For me, anyway. And I still couldn't believe that it took me, until last year, after this movie came out, 10 years, 11 years from this movie came out, that I learned that it was fucking Macaulay Culkin's brother. Ages, man. I didn't know that. When I first watched it, I had no idea it was Kieran. Is it Kieran McCulkin?
I think so, yeah.
Macaulay Culkin. Kieran Culkin. Not Culkin. Fucking hell, man. I don't know. Anyways, so that's Jill and Charlie. Now we're getting to the final 2 installments. And then we will start discussing where we think we should rank them. And obviously probably get into many arguments about ranking. So now I couldn't find pictures of these killers together. I don't know why. It's fucking weird. So we're up to Amber and Richie from Scream 2022. We've got Amber here. Very mundane and boring. Then we got the other killer right here. Maybe it was that I was thinking of. Maybe it wasn't Scream 4, where it was that Charlie did nothing. I think it was maybe Scream 5, where Richie barely did anything.
Yeah, maybe.
And I think it was mainly Amber leading the way with that one. Because if you think about it, he was accounted for a lot of the time in Scream 5 from memory.
Yes.
Can you remember if he was sort of, because Yeah, how many? He would later take on the role of Ghostface and was likely the one who offs Wes Hicks. After successfully killing him, he and Amber later go to go after Tara and Sam at the hospital. So, like, I don't know. I don't think Richie did many. The body count total 6 in the movie.
Is it only 6? Wow.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the killers in this reveal?
I liked Richie. It was kind of another similar to 4, where Richie was quite good. I enjoyed him. I was kind of a bit thrown. I didn't entirely think he would be the killer because I thought it was kind of like a Billy Loomis situation where it's like, no, it's too obvious. I don't think it'll happen again. But yeah, I liked his kind of motives. I think it was all right. Amber, she's just unremarkable. Like, her reveal was really good, but the character herself, I didn't really think much of it.
Yeah, and like, again, my problem with this movie was that I felt like with the other movies, they gave you enough of the character and stuff and didn't kind of allude to who was going to be the killer in any of the other movies as hard as they did with this movie. I think that this movie tried to push you in the direction of the killer like trying to guess who the killer would be to a point where it kind of like fucked the movie, like a little bit, because like they made it so hard that you pushed away from Amber that it was like, well, it's kind of feels like it's going to be Amber. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, the whole starting where it was Amber's phone, and then it was like, this isn't Amber, and you're like,
But isn't it?
I don't know about this. This scene, and then she was barely in the movie. Can you think about any seminal scenes with Amber?
Not at all.
Not really, hey? Like, and that's what I mean is like the other characters, like think about Mickey. He's on screen heaps, right? Think about, they feed you enough of Mrs. Loomis as well that you're like, you know her as a character. You kind of understand her. Billy and Stu, like they're like main characters in the whole movie. Roman is the main character in the third one, even though he is terrible. Jill and Charlie are main characters through that whole movie. Amber is a secondary character in this movie. Like, she is not a lead. I don't feel like she is anyway. Do you?
Not at all. No. She's very much in the background. Like, she's not. You don't learn much about her.
And that's what I mean. Why that reveal kind of felt a little less significant as well than the others. I think that Richie's reveal was a little more interesting because you actually knew Richie, got to know him being Sam Carpenter's boyfriend, being a lead, sort of being in a lot of scenes. You know, Amber may have been in a lot of scenes, but she didn't like have anything where you were like getting to know her because you were kind of getting to know a whole new cast in that movie as well. Yeah. So like, you were trying to pay attention to everybody in that movie to see who you liked, who you didn't like, and things like that. And I felt like she was in the movie just as much as that other chick that was in it that was like, that had this sort of red pinkish hair.
Yeah.
And she was like the red herring or some shit too, wasn't she? That other chick?
Yeah, definitely.
Along with, what's his name, that got killed up in the car park. Like, he was sort of a red herring at the beginning, you know? And Vince. And then fucking, you know, the next red herring was that other chick because she like loses that party and seems like really fucking like evil all of a sudden. You know, you got that. Remember that scene where she was, and that's what I mean. Even she had a more sentimental scene than fucking Amber did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm just not remembering it right, and maybe Amber did have more scenes, and I'm not giving her enough credit for them. Blah blah blah. But like, from my memory, like I can remember all the other ones just fine, and Amber seemed very like, I could probably watch this movie in 20 years and be like, who was it, the killer again? You know what I mean? Like, that's just my opinion, and that's where we're gonna get to major spoiler territory. So if anyone has a problem right now with knowing about Scream 6, who the killers are, look away. And don't get it ruined for you. So how are we going to do this, man? Because if people join the stream randomly, we're going to be right on it. You know what I mean? So I think we should put up our spoilers thing instead of actually bringing up the title of the movie. What do you think?
I think that's a good idea.
Actually, we can make it. We can do this. Scream 6. I really don't want to be that guy that ruins it for somebody tuning in. But, you know, also they should probably know that if they're tuning into a thing called All Killers Ranked, watch out.
Probably All Killers Ranked.
Yeah, including the new one, you know. So, for spoilers for Scream 6, I'm going to bring up a graphic of them so everyone can see. And then we're going to talk on them. How do you feel about these choices they made with Scream 6, Alannis? And I'm bringing up the photo now.
I liked the detective. I did. I found Quinn, the sister, hard. It was one of those moments in the movie where it was like, but she's dead, and this wasn't just like they found her and whatever. This uncovered it up. Like the entire, like the police force were there doing forensics work. Like, how do you fake being dead and then cover that up to the police and sneak off and become a killer? It's it didn't feel believable. Like it was, yes, a twist, but it didn't make sense as to how. Like I think they could have missed that. They didn't have to have that whole scene where she dies. They didn't have to have the fake sentimental scene where the detective's like, "Oh, I lost all my family now." It felt unnecessary. I think if she was just a character and then she got revealed as one of the killers, like the brother did, it would have sat better. Like I didn't see it coming because she was convincingly killed. Like it wasn't that they hid it in any other way or anything like that.
What did you think about that moment? What did you think about that moment just before she took off her mask and they were like, that just leaves Mindy? Did you think that was going to be real?
I didn't think so, no. Not at all.
I didn't either.
Like, I was half thinking it was going to be the boyfriend.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. And I even said to you that I was kind of hoping that it was going to be another killer and he was going to be in on it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He seemed like the perfect person to kind of put that moment on. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And he was he's because of what he's been in. He was a bad guy in Arrow, and he was pretty seedy in that. I was kind of dodgy on him the whole way just because of that. He reminded me of that, seeing him in that. So I'm like, yeah. So I think it's just a personal way. I think it would have sat well for that moment too. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I got to admit, I was really happy with Scream 6. I think it's a great movie. But I do have to admit that the weakest part was the whole ending. And it was disappointing, the whole ending of the movie as well. Like the reveal, there was some really cool moments in the ending, like, but I'm talking from a shot perspective and things like that. Like, if you have seen the movie, obviously, you know, it's very heavily tied to Richie from the first movie, from Scream in 2022, the reboot. Was it a reboot or a requel? You're an expert in this shit.
I think it's just a sequel because it doesn't reboot or a requel kind of redoing things, or it's just continuing.
Yeah. So so it relies heavily on Richie from this the fifth movie, and there's a cool shot of him of a movie he made, a stab movie he made, a homemade one. And it's like the ending of the movie, and it says directed by Richie on the theater curtains, and they kind of walk through the curtains as it says that, as it's there's some cool moments in that, but that was after the reveal and all that sort of thing. I think the reveal was very weak for Scream 6. I don't think I enjoyed the choice they made at all. But the movie is so good that I kind of enjoyed for the first time, I enjoyed it for the movie and not just to try and find out who the killer was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's the appeal to these movies most of the time is the whole whodunit mystery. You know what I mean? And I didn't feel like that was such a big thing in this movie. I think that number 6, I think that was the thing that I probably, as I said, I enjoyed the least and I didn't really care either. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, I enjoyed the movie, so whatever, you know. And also, I think that the decisions and the choices they made with Scream 6, with like the new opening idea, with like revealing like sort of a killer at the start, and then like it turning on him and stuff like that. I think that was such a fresh idea that was more interesting to me than the reveal at the end. What about you?
I agree. I think the opening was possibly the best since the first opening. It was.
I also think that if Scream is to go forward, maybe that's what they should do, which is like, let's not focus on making this a whodunit as much, but like, let's just surprise people with a whole complete different formula. And that's what I think they did well with this Scream 6 opening, was change it up, you know? So I'm hoping with the next one, maybe, yeah, okay, make it more like we still focus on the whodunit or whatever, but like, let's do something different as well. And like, let's talk about maybe, as we said, like, let's bring in like a legacy character like Stu as like this big leader and stuff like that, have a big reveal or whatever you want to do. And then let's fucking like, but everything else, let's make it completely new. You know what I mean? And I think that I think Scream 6 almost did that, but I think that there was still that formula there, and I think that it's gonna start getting old.
Yeah, no, I agree.
What do you think about the formula? Do you think that like it's, even though you like enjoyed Scream 6 and you think it's probably one of the best, you got to say that I think even for me, who was like not expecting to get sick of the formula, is a little over the formula.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It'll be interesting because I don't know, without the whodunit element, how interested in it I would be as well.
Well, I'm not saying, as I said, still have that, but let's like do more of what we did in the new one, which is like, let's fucking have a reveal at the start. Let's turn it on its head. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just, I'm still saying let's do like, but dude, I'm still thinking what we said we were hoping would happen in Scream 6 is what they should do, which is we wanted someone to get away.
Yes, definitely.
Have the reveal if you want. Do the whole fucking reveal and all that shit. But like, let's fucking have a killer actually get away this time. And then like the next movie picks up and follows that killer. And people know, but maybe there's a second killer in that movie, the next one, and that killer's trying to get kills, and then it ends up Ghostface like a kind of a pitted against another Ghostface. You know what I mean? Like, that's a cool idea. I don't know. What do you think about that idea?
I think it's a decent idea.
Can you imagine that? Like them trying to like, it'd be funny as them trying to call the same number at the same time. And just, fucking, would you get off the line? This is my kill. My kill, motherfucker. You know what I mean? So with that, we've talked about all the movies. Let's do a ranking. Yeah?
Yes, let's.
All right. So I made this sort of like thing. I'm going to bring up my screen and we will do it together. Yeah. Let's do this together. Window. Hold on. So we got it here. You can see that. Yeah.
I can.
So we have right now just the killers sort of in order. From Scream 2, 3, 4. Hey, I didn't put the logo for Scream down here. I was doing it while we're talking. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I didn't do the Scream 6 one, but you know what? It says it on there, so we get the fucking idea. So what we're going to do is we're just going to erase these lines quickly. Just for a whole presentation thing I was doing, so it doesn't matter. And let's change the order of these pictures in order of where we think these killers should go. So, Alannis, where do you think number 1 goes? Who's the best Ghostface?
I think number 1 has to go to Billy and Stu. Like,
Yep.
Nice.
So what we will do there, let's go. Wait. Let's go 1. So let's just drag them there. Number 1. Yep.
Yeah.
Who are we putting at number 2?
Number 2. I'm torn between Jill and is it Charlie?
Yeah, Jill and Charlie.
And I'm torn between them and
Mickey and Mrs. Loomis.
Well, but Richie's also pretty good as well. I reckon I'd probably say Jill and Charlie, mainly because of Jill. She's a very.
I'm gonna go that too. I'm gonna go. I agree with that. I agree with that choice right there, Alannis. So we're already on an agreement right now. So let's copy, paste, and then go to. We can't barely see that, so let's fucking make it red, I guess.
Ah.
There we go. And then who are we putting at number 3?
Oh, probably.
I'm gonna go Mrs. Loomis and Mickey for my choice. What do you think?
Actually, I agree. I think that's the right spot to put them.
Yep. Again, we're in agreement so far.
This is unprecedented.
Yeah, it is. It is. What have you done with the real Alannis?
Wouldn't you like to?
It'd be funny if you just pulled a mask off and you're like Ghostface.
Scooby-Doo does.
I'm right here. All right. So, who are we putting at number 4? Now, this is where it's going to start getting a little tricky, I think.
I think I'll put Richie and Amber at number 4, to be honest.
Yeah, actually, I fucking think I agree. Well, do I agree? You know what? I don't know. I kind of like the new ones more.
It's kind of a chicken and the egg kind of thing, like apples and oranges. I suppose Amber is quite forgettable. Like, I mean, Richie.
That's what I mean. And Richie, that's what I mean. Amber is like the weakest link in my book of all these killers, nearly. But actually, you know what we got to do is we got to bring up this because of one simple fact. Hold on. So yeah, tell me why you would think keep going with your why do you think Charlie, Amber? Do you think what are we doing here? Because yeah, I don't know.
I think as an entire, yeah, maybe the new guys should go next at number 4.
Yeah. And I'm going to throw something in the spanner works here. You ready? We have a new entry.
Flash Thompson.
So I'll put him up here for now. So we're going to go with the new killers. Yep.
Yep. When they actually look sinister in those photos, don't they?
Kind of, yeah. I don't know about fucking Spider from Avatar too, but whatever. By the way, if anyone didn't know, this guy right here is Spider from Avatar too. A little weird.
I was waiting for him to hiss at people. Ooh.
4. Now, I'm going to put, I think, Charlie and Amber next.
Absolutely.
So with that, we're getting to the point now that we're throwing the spanner in the works.
With that though, with that spanner, I'm just going to straight out say I'm going to put I don't even know what his name was in the movie, but Flash Thompson. That's what I'm going to call him. He's going above Roman because even though he was only in it for the opening, even though he was inconsequential to anything and didn't really do much, he was still a better concept than Roman. And I enjoyed the time we had with him.
And you know what? I fucking agree with you, man. I wholeheartedly agree with you that I kind of would rank him as a killer. And if we're going to do this, we're going all in. And he is the guy that's trying to be Ghostface at the beginning of the new movie. So I am going to say that, yes, he is definitely better than Roman.
Well, there you go. We oddly agreed on everything.
Fight us on it. Fight us on it. If you don't like it, fight us.
Yeah.
We're locking it in. Fuck it. Roman, that means you are dead set fucking last, bro. I'm sorry, man. You know? I'm sorry I had to be this way. But it is. And it is what it is, you know? I don't know. Seven. We are at 7 with you, Roman, you fuck. So, that is our ranking. What do you reckon?
Can you imagine someone coming to this screen right now not wanting spoilers?
Can you imagine someone coming to this screen right now and seeing that we just put that fucking Flash Thompson in over Roman? That's what I love. I'm going to make this scoreboard a little nicer as well so that when we because we'll probably re-upload this, you know, so it looks a little nicer for everybody that re-watches it, kind of thing. So with that, that's our rankings. Billy and Stu at number 1, Jill and Charlie at number 2, Mrs. Debbie Salt or Mrs. Loomis, and Mickey, whatever you want to call her, at number 2. Number 3, and then number 4 we've got the new guys, and then at number 5 we've got Amber and Charlie, and then at number 6 we've got that dude at the start of the new one.
That guy.
And then at number 7 we have Roman, who literally sucks. Like, he's terrible. How do you feel about our choices, man?
I think it is a good agreement. I think, yeah. I think it is a definitive rank, and anyone else is wrong.
I think we've been more than fair.
Yeah.
Look, we gave the OG Charlie and we gave the OGs a go. Like, I think you can't not put Billy and Stu as number 1. I think you have to. I think you can't not do it because without them, that this wouldn't be still going, kind of thing. You know, like, it just wouldn't have ever happened. You know what I mean? So everyone's kind of just been a copycat of Billy and Stu, and to not put them at number 1 is kind of silly. You know?
Yeah.
So you have to do that. And then, I mean, number 2, we've got Jill and Charlie, and I think for what we said, our reasons, they make a good number 2. I think they've been the most intriguing, the most natural, and the most sort of evil feeling as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They definitely have this sort of like charisma where they're like very dark. And then we've got at number 3, we've got Mickey and Mrs. Loomis. And I specifically think they're lower because I just don't think that reveal was the best. I think Mickey was a good choice. I'm not a big fan of the Mrs. Loomis aspect. Even though it works well because she kind of is the crazy lady and like this crazy news reporter, so it's like it kind of works, you know. But yeah, like I think she belongs where she belongs. And then we've got one second. I'm bringing up the graphic for everyone in a better way. Here we go. Then we've got the new Killers at number 4. I think that they definitely at least had more screen time, had more relevance and shit than Amber did in number 5 and things like that. And then I think that we've got. I think if Charlie had had a different partner and she had been more active in the movie, or he had been more active in the movie, I think that would have probably gone ahead of number 4.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And then at number 6, we have New Dude at the start of the movie, Scream 6. And then at number 7, we have Roman Bridges for all the reasons that we already said. So that is our official ranking of all the ghost faces in movie by movie. It's not really separate, you know. I'm still thinking that there might be one more live stream to do with Scream 6 that we may have to do, Alannis, and that is ranking the killings. Now, that might seem like a lot of work, but it's not. Because all we have to do is run through the 20-second clips each of each kill from each movie. How many are there in there? There's like, what? Not long. And then we have to just rank on how cool they are and how lackluster they are. And I can tell you right now, the guy getting blown up with the fax machine, that's going at the bottom, bro. But maybe not. Because there are some off-death screams and stuff that kills him. You know, at least, you know, he was on screen. And I guess, you know, like, it's better than off-screen kill, I guess. Whatever. Yeah, that'll probably nearly wrap up our Scream coverage. We'll probably do that. I'm thinking we may even do a couple more little things I've been thinking about, but I think we've done quite a lot of Scream. We do plan on releasing more Scream, rewind episodes that we did back in January of last year, so you can check those out if you haven't come across them yet. And we've also got a double episode tomorrow coming out of Televerse reviews with our Last of Us finale review, which was also going to be a review for the episode before that. So episode 8, episode 9, one episode, and then we're going to give the show rating, an average, sort of average out the scores from each episode that we've given and give it a rating out of 100 in total to what we think the season was, and have a little discussion about how we thought the season went, and it'll be good. And we got some Pop Vulture stuff coming up, followed by, I'm just going to bring this up quickly, Alannis. We have, did I save these? I swear I saved these. 1 second. Because my computer is so chockers at the moment, bro. It is fucked. Like, I have to fucking, like, constantly delete things, you know? Constantly. Look, we have, I can't find it right now. So whatever. We have our Super Mario Brothers live Ranked and Reviewed. The Ranked and Reviewed goes live review of Super Mario Brothers coming up on, do you know the date? April 4th?
Well, I think so, yeah.
April 4th. And we're going to go see it are we seeing in 3D IMAX or are we seeing it in 4DX 3D?
That's a good question. I don't think we're decided yet. We'll see it in one of them, though. And
we've got, what else is coming up movie-wise that you know of that's close, that you're pumped about? Because that's what my next sort of amp thing is.
I think we've got Guardians at the start of May, I think.
Yep. And we've got, that's a little while away, but it's coming. And we've got Indiana Jones, obviously, and all those other things. One thing I wanted to ask you quickly was, what do you think of the design of the new Ninja Turtles?
Story's going to be a big selling point there for me because just by looks, it's not selling me.
Well, it is made by fucking Seth Rogen, I want to say.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I kind of like it.
I don't know.
Like, oh man, I like it. Like, this is the first time I'm actually checking it out properly. Oh, by the way, have you heard about what we are getting? We are possibly getting a sequel to Cocaine Bear called Cocaine Shark.
Really? That's I don't know about that.
That's where we're starting to getting into Sharknado territory, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so what? This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the new design. What's your problem with this? Why don't you like this?
It just looks a little weird, like Donatello there, and wait, have they got? Is that the female turtle from the live action series in the background?
Good question.
So I don't see Michelangelo.
Yeah, where is Michelangelo? Hold on, wait. Okay. Hey, we've got a teaser trailer. Have you seen it?
I have not watched it. I've only seen.
Oh, neither have I. So let's check this shit out, bro. We can always cut this out if we want to make another section of fucking content, you know? It's all about the content. Where is it? All right. You know what? I'll bring it up on YouTube because Ninja Turtles trailer. It's a teaser trailer. Copy. 1 second. Switch account. Bring it up here. Man, I think the design's kind of cool. You know, it's something different. I mean, it's better than the fucking, what is it? Whoa, shit. The fucking, where's this coming from? All right, so, hey, this is still playing from somewhere, man. 1 second. All right, here we go. So, like, I think it's better than the Michael Bay thing.
Yeah.
Come on, man. The Michael Bay designs are pretty terrible. Let's look at this. You can see the screen, right?
I can indeed, yes.
Can I kick it? Can I kick it?
Hey, it starts like Scream. Look. The trailer for Scream. New York City. There's something followed me here.
Lob it up.
Stay still. Stay still.
Now. Oh. Let's try that again, but with ninja stars.
Hey, why did we pick a fruit shaped exactly like my head?
Just stop talking. You're ruining my concentration.
You're fine. Chill. He's gonna die.
Wait, did you hear that? What was that?
Well, nothing we can do. You guys want to grab pizza?
Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Can I kick it?
What the heck are those things? They look like little Shreks to me.
Can I kick it? Can I kick it?
Oh, we've prepared our whole lives for this.
Can I kick it?
Oh my God, I'm gonna be sick. Leo, what happened? Is Donnie bleeding?
It was an accident. Mikey, watch out!
So you were baby turtles who made contact with mystery goo.
Well, we prefer the term ooze, but yeah.
It's like more like it's just nicer.
It rolls off the tongue better, yeah.
Ooze.
It's nice, right? It's ooze.
I'm confused about one thing.
Those voices, though, man. I don't know.
That's what I was about to say is, aren't they teenagers? So why did Donatello sound like a little kid?
Yeah, I didn't like that. And Raph didn't sound very Raph.
We didn't get to see like who from what I saw, we couldn't see who the villain was in it. Like,
Yeah.
are we going to get Shredder or are we going to get someone else?
We saw it looked like we saw Rocksteady there briefly.
Yeah, did you see Splinter?
Yeah.
Afro? That means we're going to be doing Ninja Turtles in review. Ranked and Reviewed. Can't wait for Ninja Turtles 3. Ugh.
Turtles in Time.
Yeah. All right. That has been our live stream for all GHOSTFACE Ranked. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you thought we were fair. I hope you like the spanners we threw in. And yeah, we tried to kind of make it more of a fun and long stream, just to like, you know, take it sleazy, take it easy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is Sunday. I'm sure Alannis drunk pretty heavily last night.
Surprisingly not.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a pretty.
Surprised
I drank a lot of Hogwarts Legacy. So,
too.
all right. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow for our Televerse reviews, Last of Us finale. Thank you all for joining us. As always, I've been your host, Tommy West. Joining me as always has been my co-host, Alannis Maximus. Alan. We will see you all soon. Peace.
I glitched.
Oh, it did. Are you in heaven now?
I have ascended.
Wait, we gotta end it on this.